Hey guys, so we're working on the truck again, working on the black diesel setup. So what I got going on here is in the last video, no, I guess I didn't show that. So I wired up this wire. This is the wire that comes from our solenoids down here, or our valves. I don't know if you guys can see that. Hopefully you can see that because I don't feel like bending down so you can see it. Anyways, those valves are wired up to these, and I've already done a little bit of, I just wanted to make sure it was going to work the way I wanted to. So I'll explain this when we come back. But we're going to have two switches. So one is going to turn the one valve, and the other one is going to turn the other valve. And then also we're going to have these little lights in the panel as well. So these little lights, when it is in one position or the other, these lights will be on. So if we're both on, if both of the valves are dumping into the regular fuel tank, both of them are on one side, and then if it's going into the black diesel, then it will be going the other way, obviously. So, but the reason I did that is I wanted to be able to not cross-contaminate as much fuel from, like, so when you switch from diesel to black diesel, you're gonna have whatever fuel is in the system. So probably a liter, maybe a liter and a, I don't know if a liter, yeah, it'd be a liter for sure. So there'll be a liter of fuel that's gonna cross-contaminate, and I didn't wanna cross-contaminate all the time. So because the fuel that's in the tank of the truck eventually would get so much oil in it that it's just black diesel. So, and I wanted to keep them separate. So that's the reason we're doing that. So what we're doing is I'm going to make up a little switch panel thing here, and I need to cut out the squares, and I couldn't think of an easier way to do it. I was going to use a little air saw I have, but it won't fit inside the holes that I drilled, and I don't want to re-drill the holes and blah, blah, blah. So we're just going to use the mill to cut out the slots. So I'm going to throw you guys in a time lapse. You can watch that. Not that it's super special by any stretch, but for you guys that want to watch, you'll be able to watch. There's lots of ways of doing that. Probably easier ways. I got a plasma cutter. I got all kinds of stuff. One thing I need to do is get my plasma cutter table hooked up, because it would have been like 5 minutes to do it on the plasma cutter. That would have been way cooler. So that is something that I need to get hooked back up, but we are going to get these done. Okay, now I got these drilled out. Okay, now we got these drilled out. I just got to deburr this, obviously, but these switches, so you guys understand, I might have to file these just a little bit, because I made them a little on the tight side because I wasn't sure how nice it was going to look, and I didn't want the hole to be too big. So I'm going to have to file that to fit a little bit. The other one, ooh, the other one's almost perfect, so that's okay. I'm going to clean this up now. So the idea was this, just so you guys understand, was the idea was basically the lights. Whoop, can't hold on to them. I still got to drill the holes bigger, but there'll be a light. So each one of these 4 holes, there'll be one of these green lights to tell you which way it's pointed. Hopefully they're not super bright, because maybe I'll have to cover them over with something. I guess we'll see. I might even actually put the toggle switch to turn this system on and off, so nobody else can play with it. And then if you do that, then you don't have to worry about the lights being on when you're driving at night or any of that type of stuff. And I don't think I'm really going to hook them to the dimmer switch, because that just seems like too much screwing around. But we will see, I guess. So I'm going to get these fitted in there a little bit better, because they don't quite fit, and we'll get this bent. I'm going to shape the ends a little bit. I'm not going to bore you guys with that. I'm just going to literally take a file and clean it up and flatten it out, because it is kind of a little bit wonky. And then we'll put a bend on it. So I'm not going to bore you guys with that. I will bring you back when I'm getting ready to do the wiring. I'll explain the wiring. We'll get this thing wired up, and then we will be ready to switch over to run black diesel. All right, guys, so we got this thing all wired up, but I'm having some technical difficulty. Not really sure what the, well, I don't know if it's the solenoid or the valve that I bought. It must be a self-returning valve or something. I bought them both at the same time from the same place, so I'm not really sure what happened there. I'm gonna have to do a little investigating on that, because basically this is, so I got this bracket, I mean, don't mind the wiring, it's a mess still, but we got it set up. So this is the tank on the truck that's lit up right now, and this is switching the main valve from the inlet. So this is the fuel inside, switches over, no problems, all good. Do this one, does the same thing. You hear it actuating on, and then it goes back to the original location. And even if you unplug it, it still reverts back to the same spot, which we don't want. So I got to do a little bit of investigation on that to get that figured out. So I'm wondering if maybe it's the cylinder or the control unit on it is the wrong control unit, because I know that you can have, so when you power the solenoid or you power the coil, it's going to go to a certain position. You unpower it and it undoes it, which would be fine if that's the way I wanted it, but that's not the way I want it. So I'm gonna have to do a little investigation and see. I bought these off Amazon, so I might just have to buy another one and just rewire it in. But I might buy a 1/2 inch one instead of having a 3/8 and a 1/2 inch. We'll just have a 2 1/2 inch ones, because I know that this 1/2 inch one works the way that I want. So we might just do that. Anyways, so we got to deal with that first. So I guess I can talk a little bit about the wiring. There is a bunch of wiring here. Not exactly sure I'm going to clean that up yet, but we'll have to clean that up because it's a mess. Anyways, very simple. So these are door switches. Oh, it's really bright. Hold on, let me unplug the light or the battery. I just got it hooked up to a little battery. But that's super bright. So that's what the panel looks like. And you just hold you hold the switch until it goes over to the one side, the other side, and the lights, like I was talking. So that's what I was talking about, what it was going to look like. And these are just power window switches. And then it's really pretty simple. Actual valve itself, which there again, pretty simple. Basically, it's just a reversing. So you have power on one and ground on the other, you switch it, and then the valve's supposed to go the other way. So I don't know exactly what we did wrong on the one. Well, this is actually a 1/2 inch one. Huh. I wonder if I still have the box for the 3/8 one. Probably not, I probably threw it away. But I'm thinking that I must have bought the wrong one, because that's the reverting side of it. So what we might actually do, being I don't want to wait weeks to get another one, what we might do is just put a toggle switch in here, a rocker switch or a toggle switch, instead of having this, and it'll just hold it in one position or the other. We might just do that. All right, guys, so we're back the day after I was having the switch problems, or valve problems, I guess, switch valve problems. I figured out what the problem was. The problem is that the one valve is not the same as the other one, even though I bought them from the same place off the same drop-down menu. Anyways, so I had to rewire. So I had to make another switch panel, and I had to grab a different switch. So basically the way that this is going to work here is that if I turn this on, it's going to revert, or it's going to turn the valve, and we'll be returning back to this tank. And then when we switch it off, it will switch the opposite way. So it looks like a jumble of mess of wiring. I'm not going to go into the wiring right at the moment because I want to clean the wiring up. But two, I want to make sure this is going to work because I don't want to tell you guys, oh, use this, do this, do this, do this, and then it's not going to work. This should work. I don't think I should have any problems with it. But I would really like to have the other style valve. So I'm going to see about ordering one, but the price of the ones that I did order went up like $30 a valve. So I'm going to see maybe about getting a different valve for the other one, or a different brand, I should say. So I'm going to look into that. So anyways, it is working. We got it running. I still need to, obviously I need to mount this. I'm going to just electrical tape this up for now. We'll get it mounted up there. And then I haven't hooked it up to the actual truck battery yet. We're just using the old Milwaukee there. But the truck is running on the oil mixture that is in here right at the moment. So I'm gonna fire the truck back up just so you can hear it if you're interested. So that being the way that I got this wired, this is the black diesel tank that's in the back of the truck. And then when both of the lights here are on, it'll be the truck tank. But this right now, the truck is not warm, so take that into consideration. You know, there's a little bit of a haze coming out of it, and you can definitely tell it smells different, but there's a little tiny bit of a haze. But the truck only ran for maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes before I switched it over. So, but like I said, it does smell different, obviously. But I'll show, I don't know if you guys will be able to see in there or not. I put, I don't know how many liters of stuff I put in there, but I took the ATF fluid that was in this truck. I filtered it quick through a different setup that I have. We'll get into that later. But I filtered that through a 5 micron filter. We're cleaning up the shop. You guys that didn't know, we're cleaning up the shop. Got a new guy working for me, Jason, doing an awesome job. Thanks, Jason. I put in about 20 liters of new engine oil and gear oil, and then about another probably 8 to 10 liters of brand new ATF fluid, just jugs that we had laying around, oils we had laying around, and we dumped it in there. So anyways, I'm going to switch it over because I'm curious how long it's going to take for the system to flush out into fresh fuel again. So I'm going to turn the feed off, so the feed's going to go to the truck tank, and then we're going to, the feed's going to go to the truck tank, and then we'll see how long it takes for the fuel to actually run clear here. I'm just curious. I don't know how long it's going to take. Yeah, she's clear now. You can see the color change in it. So maybe a little tiny bit of red in it, but that is what it is. So I don't know. I'll put it up here how long it took, but I'm just curious. But she's definitely running clear now. So now we can go over here, turn this switch off, and it's just going to revert over to the other side. And voila. So let's shut her off. All right, so I'm gonna get that electrical taped up just so it doesn't look like a complete disaster while we're driving around for now. I'm gonna get the switch mounted, and I'm gonna see about putting power and ground to it. I don't know if I'm gonna do that tonight or wait till tomorrow because it's getting close to the end of the day. And of course, I'm having problems at home because one of our drains is plugged up. So, but I had the truck ripped apart, so I had to fix that before I go home. So, like, subscribe, hit me down in the comments, and if you have any questions, comments, you know of a valve I can use, any of that stuff, let me know, because I'm very curious if anybody's used valves. These are ball valves. I like a ball valve myself, but I could use a spool valve, different style of valve. But anyways, let me know down in the comments, and remember, it's not rocket science. Well, all the time anyway.